part of this is because within this universe, the entire Bat family is basically dead. Batgirl, Dick Grayson, Wayne, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, they're all gone. Now, we don't know who killed them. We don't know what it was they killed them. We're just kind of left to presume from the wording of Batman that they were, quote-unquote, consumed by Gotham. That doesn't really mean miscellaneous villains over the course of however long. Jason Todd was probably killed by the Joker, just like it was in the original Death of the Family story. Tim Drake, Barbara Gordon, different things like that. They just fell somewhere along the line. And what this has done is it's put Batman in this mindset where he almost seems totally irrational. And that's why I say this is kind of like the opposite of the way the multiverse is supposed to be. Because usually in beating things up, Batman's doing the same thing, but he's calculating all the variables. He's calculating all the costs, all the odds. What do we need to do in order to ensure that we come on this conflict, as opposed to just hoping to get Superman and Wonder Woman's strength and speed and so on. In this scenario, he is magical, but he's basically insane. The idea here is that with the Speed Force, Barry Allen can basically use its power to run back and forth from time. And the idea of Bruce Wayne is that he wants to essentially steal the Speed Force power or use it to go back in time and save people's lives. And that's why things get kind of crazy, because what we learned with Flashpoint is that there's always consequences, right? With the Flashpoint story, Barry Allen went back in time and saved his mom from being killed by, Reverse Flash and Clark Kent. So it was the Flashpoint universe where Bruce Wayne died instead of Thomas and Martha Wayne. Thomas Wayne became Batman, Martha Wayne became the Joker. The Atlanteans and the Amazons were at war with one another. Aquaman and Wonder Woman were trying to kill each other. Superman had never been discovered by the Ants. He crash landed on Earth. He was immediately grabbed by the government and stuck in a bunker underground. There were all these massive changes that went on, and they were huge in terms of how they unfolded. So Barry Allen said, okay, this is what's going on. He goes back in time, he wakes up mom dying, and he wakes up in a different universe, in the new 52. You can never go back to the way things used to be. That no matter what change you make, it changes things forever. And Barry Allen has learned that lesson time and time again, either by watching others do it or by doing it himself. And so in this scenario, the logic that he's supposed to explain is if you go back in time and you save the life of Grayson and Jason Todd and Tim Drake and Damian Wayne, there's no telling what the universe will be like. It could be that you saved their lives, but in that moment when you were not there for them, wherever the case may be, you're just about to see some future for them. And the result is that you basically change yours, or you're supposed to be dead if they change you. And they basically taken over the world. They kill all the superheroes. These things could happen. It's the fact that you don't know what the outcome will be. Plus, time travel is so dangerous. Now, the other half of this is the way the Speed Force works, because it's kind of a funny story. If we go back and we read Flash Born to Run, I think it was, where the Flash went west and outran the universe. He ran from the edge of the universe all the way to Earth in like almost a split second. One of the things that we're told is that the Speed Force is infinite. There's no limit to the Speed Force. But if we go and we read Jeff Johns' Flash Rebirth, we're told the Speed Force is finite. That only so many speedsters can tap into the Speed Force. If you read Flashpoint, it's the exact same thing. Barry Allen used to travel back into the past, but he can't because Eva Bartholomew is using the Speed Force, and because they're both using it at the same time, there's not enough energy for Barry Allen to travel back into the past. So it depends on what letter it is that you're talking about. But regardless of how the Speed Force is used, with regards to this scenario here, what we know is that only people who have a connection to the Speed Force can basically enter it. The Speed Force is a locked door. The only people with the keys are speedsters. Now, this is just like any other locked door, right? If you know the person with a key, you put a gun to their back, make them walk up to the door, and unlock it. And that's what Batman does here. Batman literally knocks out Barry Allen after manipulating his speed powers, tricking him, essentially wrestling his mind, and then in turn straps him to the front of the Batmobile and races him into the Speed Force. Now, under normal circumstances, our initial thought would be, okay, so Barry Allen enters the Speed Force, and then Batman enters and dies. That's not true. Remember, we've seen instances where people who are not part of the Flash family, which is to say, who are not speedsters, have been thrust and locked into the Speed Force. Case in point, Superboy Prime. We saw that during Infinite Crisis. Superboy Prime was grabbed by the speedsters. He was raced into the Speed Force. Barry Allen grabbed him and pulled him in. He was basically locked there for however long. Now, of course, the universe absolutely massacred their superheroes.
Got that ass.
We have never really seen a lot of instances instances where a person who was not a speedster had been locked in the Speed Force. We'd seen it before. Right? Suicide Prime is the most popular example. That's why I use that. But the idea here is that with Batman going into the Speed Force and basically merging himself with Barry Allen, what he ends up doing is stepping out as the Red Death. Now, this is kind of an interesting situation because the implication here is that there's one of two scenarios going on. The first scenario is that this guy, Bruce Wayne, is just now an evil bad guy. Like, he's just a villain. That's it. He's just an evil dude, and there's no way for him to come back from this. The other half of that is that Bruce Wayne is not entirely lost. Now, the way in which this happens is that he steps into the Speed Force, and his world is basically crashing down around him. Now, there's almost like this inner turmoil, right? Like, Barry Allen speaks to Bruce Wayne and says, look, you're not a bad guy. You know, you can go back and you can fix this. And there's a brief moment of hesitance. Now, it also seems that this power has basically run to Bruce Wayne's head. He's possibly even possessed. We don't know that for an absolute truth. All we know is this guy, Red Death, refers to himself as Bruce Wayne. So the implication is that it is Bruce Wayne acting of his own accord. The other thing here is that with this universe basically crashing down on this earth, basically being destroyed, what this seems to do is hit home at the idea of rules within the multiverse. When it comes to the multiverse in DC Comics, for the most part, their depiction of how the various worlds exist has really just kind of been free. Infinite Crisis introduced like the monsters and things like that. Final Crisis gave us the monitors and so on. And this idea that the monitors serve the purpose of making sure that the Earth's heroes never cross over. That Earth 1 didn't show up on Earth 2, Earth 2 didn't show up on Earth 3. After that, it was whatever goes on in those worlds goes on. It's just to just make sure you don't show up in somebody else's house. And so it was really that the monitors were more of like prison guards as opposed to actually people who were maintaining houses and so forth. But in this instance, what this seems to do is it hits home at these finite rules. Things are supposed to happen a certain way. Certain characters are always supposed to live. If they die, it quote unquote breaks things. For example, let's take like the scenario with the Bat family. We don't know if it was the death of the Bat family that triggered this. We don't know if it was Bruce Wayne making the decision to go out and Flash that triggered this. All we know is that this world is just crumbling to pieces. It's basically falling apart. And the implication seems to be it's because Bruce Wayne is playing a character he's not supposed to be. He's breaking the rules of the multiverse, breaking the rules of this universe. Now, if this is true, at this point, this is just speculation. It's not totally true. It's just kind of my guess. But if this is true, it would change everything. Because what it does is it basically takes this whole idea of in every universe there's a Batman. In every universe there's a Superman. In every universe there's a Flash, there's a Wonder Woman, so on and so forth. It takes that from the realm of being, well, that's just kind of how things worked out, to being, this is the way it always is. There's always a Flash in every universe. There's always a Justice League. There's always these superheroes who always exist, because if they don't, the world simply just can't exist. Now, some incidents like happening is that this actually displays a power that we've never seen before. When it comes to speedsters, stealing the abilities or stealing the speed of other powers or other characters, usually it is an extension of themselves, in the sense they have to like run up on them, they have to touch them, something along those lines. It's not really like a telekinetic thing. In this instance, it's like accompanied by these bats, which is super cool. So when he shows up in the new 52 Earth, these bats are like the other
Imagine like some like a lot of people that have big houses don't really do that.
Like a big
I'm just thinking about big houses.
I mean, I think it's still be 3 bedroom, 2 bathrooms, just a little more space. The room's just bigger, maybe a little bigger of a kitchen, like more having spaces, more closets.
Probably like the color. Going with color, probably like
in the middle of all this, the whisks him away. And that's a big deal. Because Dr. Fate shows up. He is the predecessor to Doctor Strange, right? Like, Dr. Fate existed long before Doctor Strange. But he's a guy that DC does not invoke very often. But when they do, it means things are about to happen. When Dr. Fate intervenes, it means that the universe is moving in a direction to where if those who are not whisked away to a quote-unquote safe place, if that's not actually done, they'll basically die. It's essentially DC coming in and saying the universe, the prime DC universe, is now on a collision course. Dr. Fate is literally running around and grabbing these guys up because they're the only ones who are going to be able to stave off against the coming threat. What it also seems to indicate is that
she called me. She's like, "Yo, can I dusty is too much."
And then Flash would have killed Red Death. It's an interesting situation because again, it really hits home with this idea that there's a much bigger picture.
Meanwhile, this girl,
Versus
I don't think she's
because things are not right with them. And the things that are not right are contextual based on the origin stories of each character that we'll see. Again, a lot of this is really mysterious. We don't know what direction things are heading in. We don't know what's going to happen. We can just kind of look at it, guess, and hope we understand.
I'm making prison food from around the world to see which countries are worth committing crimes in. And today, we're headed to Saudi Arabia.
What's going on, guys? We are covering the Dawnbreaker, the story about this is absolutely bonkers, but this is the first audio that I'm recording after we got back from New York Comic Con. All the members of the Rock Crew who showed up knew that, okay, check out this video. Check out this video real quick of like everybody, like the huge crowd that we got for the panel. So the cool thing about this is that initially, like when we first got up to the room, I saw like maybe 10 people, and I was like, okay, that's cool, you know, like we have fun as a show. As long as I get people fans, I don't really care how many show up. And then like everyone heard, and there's like 200 people. It was one of the coolest things. So we've got like
Nigga, what?
population for just gathered together in this.
How?
It was so cool. Like it's so humbling to see so many fans show up. I never get past that, and I hope I never do. I love being just like talking to fans like a regular comic book person. Like this one, this really drawn into the Green Lantern is probably already got the full real to this. I was like, I love you guys so much. I love hanging out with you guys. Meeting you guys is the sweetest thing. It's so awesome. Like, you guys get excited about me. I do me, because I'm fans of you. So, we're on day 3. It's always fun. And the Dawnbreaker is one of these stories where it almost draws in a kind of likes the old spirit of how Jordan Campbell, while at the same time changing things up a little bit differently. But initially what this does, the way it's written is it takes the most logical course. It goes all the way back to Joe Chill, some guy basically shot Bruce Wayne's parents in the Dark Knight. So it's like this guy sitting there crying and then discovered by the police. He's like, absolutely nothing.
I can't fucking see. Move.
So like, have the ability to overcome great fear. Welcome to the Green Lantern Corps. That's the only stipulation. Now, if you can swap and try to kill Joe Chill, this is one of the things. Because remember, the first movie of the Green Lantern Corps was killed. And that's actually pulls Bruce Wayne back.
I noob to the fuck out of all y'all.
Now, I cannot even begin to tell you guys how huge this is. This is when we start getting into parallels. As far as I'm aware, turning of the ring, not allowing its wielder to kill people wasn't Jeff Johns' creation. It is designed to ensure that it exists as a possible force. Now, a lot of guys who were in Jeff Johns' run,
All around. I'm gonna do that all around, bro.
The Sinestro Corps led by Val Sinestro waged war against the Green Lanterns in response to the universe which created the Green Lantern race school and allowed Green Lanterns to You know, in this universe, that doesn't ever seem to happen. Bruce Wayne totally dominates the Will's program. Literally, it's the reigning president. And no chip. It's not the first time that we've seen a person overpower Green Lantern. We saw really before Jeff Jones to the it's just that Gotham City was destroyed, his children basically just freaked out, he lost his mind, so his accident, he was the Green Lantern Corps, killed all the darkness of the universe except for Gambit, who in turn was the really and then able to be later. The Jeff Jones is that when Hal Jordan started calling himself God, it's because he was in we're sitting in basically the street.
He's on the roof.
Which is why some kind of in this instance, Bruce Wayne is not possessed of paralyzed entity. Bruce Wayne is not controlled by this living embodiment of fear. Bruce Wayne is just even though he doesn't script. And that's why this is so cool. It's because there's an argument that and Superman basically made the case no matter what Batman does, no matter what Bruce Wayne does, no matter what he says, no matter what he's in every single circumstance, Bruce Wayne is basically just this little kid lying in a dark alley because his parents are dead. This is you see that when you read a Batman and you think about that for a second, if you realize when he's fighting the Joker, when he's fighting the when Jason is killed, and Drake becomes loud, when Nightwing himself and says, I'm killing you. What it is, every instance where Bruce Wayne is angry or he's still just this little kid. Because that's the motivation for him. Now, the other half of this is that same first this extreme power of Bruce Wayne with Green Lantern. Because Radiance is actually resurrecting his parents from the dead. Of course, they immediately go back to being and turn into the way they were. But we've never seen an instance where a Green Lantern has been able to resurrect himself from the dead. We've never seen a person who was able to not only Green Lantern with resurrect the dead. Now, what this does is it basically puts power and it becomes an indirect bolster to the power of the Green Lanterns. And again, that's how these stories work. A person who is moving to the exists in the main DC universe. You're seeing some story off we'll see people get a Green Lantern and they'll do something with that ring that we've never seen done before. It's like suddenly that sustainable. Suddenly, this creates a precedent that means that now in the main DC universe, we can suddenly see which image that he can resurrect people from the dead.
The AI section. This is great for those website essentials like a copy or companies to subscribe. Now, the sale, so get some details, and just like that, I have the perception, function, and view. I love it. Now, for the AI text, I got some products that need description. So, I get some keywords. Tomorrow you'll be running drills until you drop. Let's see what the AI image creator can do.
So slow. I don't know what.
Type your idea, watch it turn into a high-quality image. You can have some real fun. If you need to tweak something, just brush it over, write what you want, and there it is. That's all. If you're ready to build something,
Again, getting back into the story, the whole idea is that with Bruce Wayne having a Green Lantern ring, suddenly he just begins dominating and killing every single villain he comes across. Now, this is one of the things that I like about this version of Bruce Wayne. What all these villains have shown is that they're incorrigible, they're unwilling to change. The things they do result in the deaths of countless people, whether it's through peddling substances, robbery, or things like that, or just having people taken out because they're opposition. Whatever the case may be, he just keeps going through and taking all these guys out. Now, we see these as somewhat of a flashback when he kills Scarecrow, when he kills the Penguin. We see these as flashbacks because he's literally talking to Jim Gordon, and while the Gotham Police Department is terrified of this teenage Bruce Wayne, what they basically come to terms with is the idea that people are missing around Gotham City. Criminals are just vanishing left and right, and no one knows why. But Jim Gordon suspects that Bruce Wayne is the one who's doing it, and that's what he does. He confronts him with this information. This is, why are you doing this? Now, the other half of this is the other part of the power that Bruce Wayne's created for himself. Again, when it comes to the
take off the Snapchat filter. Take it off. Take it off.
Confident they are themselves, as well as their ability to control the
Maybe don't. You have to take it off.
and so with Bruce
No, take it off. Take it off.
He actually creates constructs in front of himself. Now again, this is a because we've seen Batman with a Green Lantern before.
And you know what? I feel I genuinely feel like they feel some type of way.
Batman uses the ring and is able to conjure constructs of his parents, but it's wildly difficult to
I feel like they feel the way they do because of the fact that mind you, I knew I should have listened to the rumors because there was rumors going on at work before I even met this person that was like, I remember you said something about that. You know, and I should have listened to them, but I didn't. I was like, you know what? Let me not be that kind of person. Yeah, let me find out.
In this instance,
And we found out. Yeah, I did. But the crazy part about it is, I think it's really a.
The way he does, he literally takes this emotional spectrum and just kind of merges it with his own soul, and he creates these sort of hybrid constructs where it's basically referred to as the darkness, but it's the darkness in Batman's soul. And so it's almost asking the question, what would happen if Bruce Wayne's hollow nature were to pollute the emotional spectrum? Then what would take place? Well, that question is answered when, after it is that he kills Commissioner Gordon, he's immediately met by the Guardians of the Universe and the Green Lantern Corps. And what he does is literally just initiate this blackout. And these constructs he was created in this void under the soul are virtually indestructible. It's almost like wasting a person off to another dimension. And it's absolutely insane because while we don't necessarily see what happens, we basically end up finding out that these constructs he's created obliterate the Guardians of the Universe. They obliterate the Green Lantern Corps. Everyone is completely destroyed. And so going forward, he sort of just starts to himself with non-green. Now, this is crazy because the Guardians of the Universe are insanely powerful. I mean, they are some of the most powerful beings in existence. They are handling the entirety of the universe. And that's what Bruce Wayne's doing. Again, the idea of this Guardians of the Universe is you have to stop. What you're doing is polluting the emotional spectrum. And that's exactly what he's done. It's looking and putting a drop of it in a beaker of water. It's just going to spread this everywhere. Eventually, it's just going to push the darkness inside that beaker back in. It's going to paint that water forevermore. And that's what they're saying here. It's just looking at the emotional spectrum. He's going to destroy everything. Now, of course, this coincides with the beginning of the destruction of his own Earth. And this is when we basically start getting into this idea that when it comes to these alternate reality versions of Batman, their universes are being totally obliterated for reasons that we haven't fully fleshed out yet. This belief that like these finite universes are being broken, that the destruction of these universes are because of the fact that these different versions of Bruce Wayne are doing things they're not supposed to. And so again, it's kind of cool. But we actually end up picking up with the man who lost this over Batman. And he looks amazing. I just want to say that. He looks so cool. But it's basically this idea of saying, building up the walls, building up the story. So again, this seems to have taken place long before the events of like Dark Knight's Forge, the casting, these rosters literally leads to Dawnbreaker Batman showing them in the DC universe. Now, one of the things that I wanted to hold off until this very point are the things that the 2, 3, 4 going to the positive side. And then you've got negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4 going to the negative side. What DC's doing is they're building up Earth Prime, which is to say the story you've been reading since the New 52 first started. They're building that up. It's like the center point of the entire multiverse. It is the singular middle point at which everything branches out. And so what it does is it will literally allow a person to enter into this world and then by extension enter into other worlds. So we see that into a room with a room full of rooms. You know, it's interesting in terms of how that happens. But the idea here is that he takes him out against Hal Jordan, shows him arriving with powers that Hal Jordan's never seen before, and then the knowledge of the Green Lantern ring is contextual and is basically limited to the universe in which that Green Lantern ring was created. So the Green Lantern ring that Hal Jordan wields does not know anything about the constructs that Bruce Wayne wields because they're not from the universe where Hal Jordan's ring came from. And so again, that's why this works, because it basically hits home with this idea that now someone has these constructs work, what the weakness of his constructs are, and how those constructs can be defeated. But again, it's basically this Green Batman from the alternate popping up in the DC Rebirth universe and then just dominating Hal Jordan. But again, much like we saw with Red Death, Dr. Fate is not necessarily a counter. Dr. Fate is like the Doctor Strange, so to speak, of the DC universe. Dr. Fate predates Doctor Strange. But in terms of the role they play, Dr. Fate is really more of these guys that watches everything unfold and then simply says, okay, I'm going to intervene on behalf of the Fates, or I'm not going to intervene if the Fates don't want me to. But in this instance, this him basically whisking with the flames. You're going to have to go through the destruction of Coast but you are needed elsewhere. What this does is it eases the possibility of the return of your husband. Because remember, the original Howard Charles popped up because of the fact that Coast City was destroyed. If DC ends up deciding to say, I don't see DC doing the same gag twice. I mean, it's just wishful thinking. I really wish we would have it right, but it's basically the city being darkness, basically being whisked away to this lawbreaker Batman and creating his own universe. So I think it's pretty wild. It's metal. Come out of DC Rebirth. It is amazing. Imagine AI created made for any and drive forward. Describe it. Watch it take shape. Plan, customize, expand, any direction. Always build for what? Projects, enterprise-grade systems. Everything is built in, ready to launch. It's a new world of creation. Where you can go as far as your imagination takes you. Can you imagine it? Let's make your dream.
Securing B.
TikTok ads changed everything. We've generated over 100,000 leads, which has converted into over 1,000 sales for our pet insurance policies. My name is Trey Farrell, CEO of Smart Insurance. TikTok's Smart Plus AI takes the guesswork out of targeting, bidding, and optimizing. Having an app like TikTok creates targeted for Gen Z, targeted for older crowd.
Losing Bravo. We're losing Charlie.
So,
Taking Bravo underway.
this is really something. It's a cool story. It's a very elaborate story. But Scott Snyder's stories are always that way. More stories to build up the characters. So it's pretty interesting in terms of how he tells stories. But the whole idea is that this opens with a basic set of stories. There's Carter Hall. Remember, Carter Hall is basically Hawkman. And Hawkman is this guy that has this origin story that he's effectively been seen by and being time and time again. The same thing goes with Henry Saunders. They're effectively Hawkins that will always die and will always be born. They won't know who's going to win. The story is to basically bind to essentially be on the other side until it dies. So this repeats itself. But the idea of that is to introduce this concept of impact. And what it does, or at least what it did for Paul and Kendra Saunders, is it basically said that somewhere along the line in the origin of before they started this process of being some, alien civilization. So, and the
Hello.
other one that we were stabbed by a blade that was made of that metal, it set the
Damn, what's wrong with my game?
presumably for all eternity. The whole idea of the diary of Carter Hudson with regards to Dark Knight's metal is that
This comes.
wants to find out what influenced
Alright.
and why it caused him to live this process of building the earth over and over and over again. But because of the fact that he dates back to his days of civilization, you can see a multitude of things take place. And so this story basically opens up with references to three different tribes. The first is the tribe of the wolf. The second is the tribe of the bear. The third is the tribe of the bird. Now the first two are pretty straightforward. The third is a little bit kind of weird, and it really requires a little bit of speculation on our part. The wolf is basically the tribe of Vandal Savage. The tribe of the bear is the tribe of the immortal man, and the tribe of the bird might be like the court of owls, but it's most likely Hawkman himself. Now, with the tribe of the wolf, the Vandal Savage, he is a guy who is basically immortal. Now, the way that originally happened in DC storytelling is that Hawkman and Vandal Savage both basically gained immortality from a meteorite. This meteorite crash landed on Earth. Vandal Savage discovered it in the early days of caveman history. It basically it's legitimate, so he could never really die. The immortal man made an end to the meteorite. His exposure to the emperor over time and his immortality. Now, in the New 52, when DC basically started retelling the story of Night of Batman and the family, all those stories written by Scott Snyder. And what Scott Snyder established is that there's actually this substance on Earth called Dionysium. And Dionysium, in its most pure form, was first encountered by Vandal Savage. And that's how it was never the Joker to encounter an impure form. That resulted in he constantly had to go back and expose himself to Dionysium. And there were too many planets he'd have to do. It was really Scott Snyder teasing this idea. This this Dionysium was present in the system of Joker. Now, no references to the immortal man. This is the first time that indicate the immortal man exists. This seems to be the first time. And of course, the tribe of the bird, who are looking at the idea of Hawkman, this basically means that once he was stabbed with info in the early days of his existence, his tribe, he was kind of had a group of his own and different things like that. And he just came to be represented with regards to these different tribes. But that is a short little story because what this does is it says that these three tribes are not being able to effectively to the modern day. What this does is it picks up with manga. Now this is kind of cool because this actually comes out of what I believe is a three-part story. Maybe it's a two-part story in Superman Batman issues 5 and 6. And he's dealt with the idea of a character by the name of some kid named Hero, who was basically like this super smart engineer, so it's based out of Japan, and he actually designed a video game system that eventually turned into a real life system in the sense that it was designed to allow people to jump into this sort of virtual reality but it eventually manifested to the point that they were controlling actual people, specifically Batman and Superman. So there was an interesting little bit of storytelling on before the DC comics with regards to the launch of the movie and also the potential Mongo. And so this is why Mongo has kidnapped because the two of them are basically familiar with each other. In the sense that Hero is the New 52 iteration of Point under control of Mongo. And this thing phoning on this new war move, which is basically Mongo's war world. It results in Justice League using a multitude of different devices and contraptions. For example, crystallized kryptonite, which keeps Superman's
Give me.
just running super fast and things like that. It's just really just a way to kind of keep them in place. Now, of course, this goes by pretty fast. There's a new device that's been created by Spider-Man, and Justice League are forced to fight it. Ultimately, Batman realizes that there's basically sort of symbols inside of the machine itself that have to affect theirs. So Batman and the Justice League will figure out how to actually turn this machine into a giant Voltron, more or less, whatever it's called. A giant mega of sorts, which they can all pilot. It's the Zord. It's the Megazord. They're all just kind of piloting it, and of course they use it to basically overpower Mongol and make their escape. And that's really about it. I mean, there's going on. Got it in. But I guess it really is kind of answered in the fact that when they return home, there's this giant mountain that's been erected in the middle of Gotham City, which of course has sent people fleeing for their lives. Now, of course, once the Justice League actually gets up to it, they get inside the mountain, they start investigating around. What we end up getting is this sort of resonance energy that runs directly in line with the energy that Hal Jordan felt from Dark Days, The Forge, and The Castle. And what I mean by that is if might you remember in those two songs, which you have down in the Dark Knight's Metal playlist, there was basically this machine of sorts that Batman had constructed, which ultimately had just been torn to pieces by the Joker. And the idea was that Batman, alongside the City, as the newest addition to the Bat family, had used his powers to essentially sort of rebuild this thing, in addition to Green Lantern using his ring to recreate the machine, so to speak. And it resulted in them working on it. But the this machine put off as a result of Batman is exactly what they're doing here. It is basically encasing some sort of pod of sorts. And so before they can actually crack it open,
he's like a large one to do it.
an interesting story because it basically treats Kendra Saunders as if nobody knows who she is and she's not to do everything to do, which is kind of interesting because it's like this wholly new introduction concept within DC. But basically, it treats against any the nature of what's going on with Paul. And again, that's why this basically comes together in the sense that it's each one that nobody really understands.
It's like,
Comes from the dark multiverse. Instead, what Kendra Saunders various issues of the dark it's just this time as the Savage began to rise in the like the immortal rise of comets, one tornado who was really a really cool they were basically put to task.
yeah, play with that guy.
She essentially says this is the multiverse as it exists. This is a multiverse crisis every universe is its own. If you can
Oh, you punk.
You putting that damn funk on that ass. Yo, get you off of.
Damn it.
Nah, come get one of the bags from me.
Is that with each one of these universes, kind of this so the question that Kendra Saunders asks, and the question that Carter Hall
get one of them bags right beside my bed.
Oh, you bastard.
This is one of the interesting scenarios.
Go ahead. On this side.
That there is the multiverse that exists in these stories within these
you see that box in his front,
this multiverse is composed of
you don't see that box, yeah.
it's actually kind of interesting because the whole principle behind this is basically saying that the DC universe, everything
Damn. All of that and my teammate shoots me.
I ain't trying to.
It's composed of dark matter and dark energy. And so what they're effectively saying is that this dark multiverse as it exists.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, come on.
Kendra Saunders and everybody figuring out what's going on, trying to understand what's happening. At the same time, as they began going through and as she began researching what she would call the
Damn it, he's coming to the spawn.
Now, of course, in the middle of this whole investigation, things were just kind of picked up.
Oh, his ass is sitting on the damn steps right there. Oh no.
Effectively this Android that can be that PC tried to experiment into an elemental of sorts, but he was basically a member of the Justice League for quite some time, Justice League International. Older thing was more excited to see. He's really DC rolling his character back now, how we got here, we simply know that Kimber Saunders and the Blackhawks have been holding him captive this entire time. But one of the things that you guys notice is that with him basically dominating what's capable. But what he keeps shouting is that they open the door.
Well, his dad was trying to do this direct fishing there.
Yeah.
For the first, 2 or 3 issues, and then he actually gets into the meat and potatoes of it later on. Of course, in all of this, Batman basically bails out. A lot of that stories in the sense
That's some shit. He's behind you. Right up there. Oh my god.
ultimately the person that is is Batman himself with traditional idea of the world.
Really, y'all? You let him shoot me?
Exists. And so the goal was to so the story and
Ain't getting it, guys, man. Got right OG ass. Yeah. Certified. I told motherfucker you don't eat. I told motherfucker nigga, I said you don't eat a pussy, you suck a dick. Oh, you do this special. Okay, don't chill. They tell you don't eat pussy. No dick sucker.
Now, the endless are a really cool concept in the realm of DC Comics, and we first talked about it. The Endless one. So I'm going to give you guys a crash course in what the Endless are. The Endless originally appeared in the second volume of Neil Gaiman's Sandman series. And the Sandman series largely dealt with the idea of just a guy who would get these sort of prophetic dreams. But the Endless are somewhat like DC's answer to Marvel's cosmic entities, but not exactly. The idea is that in the Marvel universe, the cosmic entities are sort of this representation of concepts within the realm of Marvel. Eternity represents time, and infinity represents space, or something along those lines. The Endless in DC's comics are not a representation of different things. They simply are those things. So when it comes to like the dream of the Endless, it is basically the concept of people dreaming. When you lay down, you go to sleep, and you dream about whatever. That one girl that you really want to get with, or the one guy you really want to get with, or getting a ring. Whatever it is that you dream about, Endless is that, the amalgamation of your dreams, more or less. But the reason why this matters is because when it comes to the Endless, there's something like 7 of them. I think it's destiny, destruction, death, dream. I want to say delirium, despair and desire, I think is what they're called. I'm not super familiar on the endless, so I apologize if I got those wrong. But for the most part, we don't really see them all that often in DC, or at least not in the main DC stories. But the whole idea is that the arrival of Dream specifically is done for a purpose. It really seems to be, in the eyes of Scott Snyder, an explanation of what the Dark Multiverse is. The indication here is that the Dark Multiverse is not necessarily a place where everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. It's a place that was created by virtue of a nightmare situation. It's basically a multiverse that exists of all the worst things that can happen because people drop out. It's like when people's nightmares go coalesce and presume to all of this. The reason why we really have to wait for definitive answers from Scott Snyder is because in the story, it's basically established that the Dark Multiverse predates the main DC multiverse by 5 years. So if it predates the existence of people brought it up because they weren't alive to do it. Again, that's why this is a kind of explanation. It's sort of trying to figure out what's going on. But the very essence of running the universe here is a huge problem because it's the equivalent of it's not enemies, but it's when eternity shows up and says, hey man, we gotta talk about what's happening. That's when you know things are really going to pop off. Things are really going to get serious because we have basically these immutable constructs showing up and telling Batman things are about to get pretty bad.
Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint set. Hardpoint locked down.
Very suggestions on this. Sense. Still, to get your point across fast.
Hardpoint insecure. Objective to hardpoint.
Upgrade to gravity growth.
Hardpoint active. Hardpoint locked down.
Okay, so we are in the second part of our discussion of Dark Knights Metal. This is kind of crazy. For a second, because this was a debate that started in this video, or in the last video that we did in part 1, spilled over into the Green Lantern video, and I'm going to be back in this one. I watched the video that Imagine has in the English. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I'll put some link down in the description. I want you military access all the time. But the whole idea of the English is that, take for example, the concept of death. A lot of people look at death of the English and say that is the end-all, be-all, definitive representation of the world. People usually cite the Sandman series. It's originated, and so it makes sense to say whatever the Sandman series says is what's absolutely true, which is not a reasonable stance to take. If you read the Sandman, all of their embodiments. Dream is the embodiment of dream. Death is the embodiment of death, and so on and so forth. But if you go and you read Captain it's to say that's not necessarily true. That you have Death of the Endless, and then you have Black Witch, death for Speedster, and then you have Necron, who represents death for the Green Lantern, and they all just are equal. They're just personifications of death. Different people see it different ways. It's not never definitively said. Nope, the way that Neil Gaiman explains it is absolutely right. That's the way death works. We have Death of the Endless. Everybody else is just an expression of the endless. It's just a personification of death. There's a part or something along those lines, and that's it. DC's never done that before. So it's just kind of whatever you want it to be. When it comes to the concept of Dream of the Endless, I do not believe that there's another counterpart to that version in DC Comics. That creates kind of a weird scenario because there really isn't anybody out there, but it is somewhat of an interesting scenario. circumstances where you have no ability to experience the same thing, and then DC doesn't really take any steps to consolidate it. But the fact remains, in the last video, we basically left off with the idea that there was this explanation of the Dark Multiverse. There are DC multiverse, and then on the backside, there's the Dark Multiverse, but we don't really know what. The only thing we know is that there was a substance called nth metal, and this nth metal is effectively a key that unlocks the door and allows a person to get into the Dark Multiverse. Or if a person metal in the Dark Multiverse, it would allow them to enter the positive multiverse. And so the idea is that when this whole explanation was Batman did what Batman does. And he stole that little fragment of nth metal and this concept, keep in mind, this whole story is really in a lot of ways designed to feed into the existing status quo of Bruce Wayne. Batman usually keeps things to himself.
Damn. Hello?
Says, no, this is spoilers. I'm not happy about it.
No, fun again.
It's just the way things are. And so, that being the case, I'm the person best suited to see this role and to figure out what it is that's going on. In truth, it's a lack of trust on Batman's behalf towards the other members of the Justice League and everybody who's involved. But keep in mind, we also have things like government agencies here, and Batman knows really better than anybody else that those agencies can't be trusted. If nth metal is this wildly powerful material that can give
Damn. Shit, I mean, shit.
the Suicide Squad, that would be a terrible scenario for almost anyone. And so in Batman's mind, if all this stems back to the
What she was talking about, though?
sort of untold
So what she was talking about?
multiverse and nth metal, the key to unlocking is the best person to and so in the aftermath of that, last shard in existence and then racing off is this massive pursuit by the various members of the Justice League to track him down. And again, this is what shows the cunning nature of the Bat family. Since you've got everybody hunting for Batman. You've got Superman, you've got Arrow, you've got John Constantine, Zatanna, you've got all kinds of characters hunting for Batman. When it comes to the character of Bruce Wayne, he's seen and done it all. This is conjunction with power and culture. This means that the people almost never stop.
Alright, so put it in.
And so they're hunting in every conceivable place that Batman would go to. Not only that,
I want campus, nigga. This shit ran past my dumb ass.
because you basically got driving this vehicle and just fucking trash.
Oh yeah, I'll play that shit. The sounds. Yeah, I was gonna say it's like you basically creating a little world. I don't play shit like that. What I right. I play Call of Duty because I can't shoot niggas in real life. I play 2K because I can't play NBA niggas in real life.
Grayson pulls out a little piece, this little bitty thing that basically has a name that translates into
Oh, I went hard. I got 43 kills, 25 deaths. Kill ratio 1.72. Oh, that was though. That nigga threw the bomb. That nigga threw a grenade in the midst of their whole team.
Advanced status. At transition.
I wasn't doing shit playing the game. I let put some of that oil in my candle thing and lit it, and then went and took a shower and walked back up and thought I was in the apple orchard. I mean, I'm talking about my mouth got the water. I said, "Oh, I like that." Now my mouth got the water, and I wanted apples.
of plant life across the planet Earth. And the Parliament of Trees selects a person every generation protector. And that's what Swamp Thing is.
Yeah, I gotta get up early my damn self. Because I gotta go get them damn turkeys. And I need to see them early in the morning. Yeah, I gotta get some turkeys from the house. I got 3 turkeys at home. I gotta go cook. I gotta cook the season. But what's I gonna say? You want me to cook it tomorrow? And you pick it up? Yeah, I can cook it tomorrow and you pick it up, or I can cook it tomorrow, hold it there, or I can just cook it Wednesday. 11, but I'm probably gonna go in at 4. I mean at 9. Shit, we usually smoke them about 4 to 5 hours.
For those of you guys who saw my new YouTube run the video on Batman, bear with me because there's probably a lot of people who haven't. And if you haven't seen those, I highly suggest you go back and watch them because this ties into everything.
In worst case scenario, I can always take them to my mom's house.
Going to take place called a mantle, or at least it has been taking place. And this all ties back into Final Crisis. Where the Final Crisis event when Batman was hit into a mega sanction of Darkseid.
No, I can cook it on Wednesday. No, that's what I'm saying. I can cook it Wednesday too. All right. Yeah. But yeah, I can cook my turkey Wednesday. I think anyway. I'll find out tomorrow for sure though. I'm gonna see either way. I'm gonna season tomorrow. Oh, that hoe right there. I seen your bitch ass. You did.
And was basically turning people who had died into their own personal sons, their own personal assassins. Bruce Wayne was captured by the court and subjected to their wrath. In doing so, he had consumed some of the water in order to keep himself from going crazy. This water contained something called electrum. Now we know from the Court of Owls that electrum basically existed alongside dionysium. Dionysium was a substance that could basically give people longevity. It could allow them to live for an extremely long amount of time. Dionysium itself was established as a chemical that existed on Earth and in its most pure form was first met by Daniel Savage, basically an immortal man. It consumed Dionysium, making himself immortal. Along the way, Dionysium became pure. The Joker eventually encountered it, and somehow, as the Joker went back and consumed Dionysium, we were always there, we were always there. Batman Endgame, when Batman was believed to
Damn, I used my last bomb on accident. You ain't got the itis, huh? And you said that like a little kid at first.
But the whole idea is that over the course of the last several years, systematically exposed to these different metals, to 4 particular metals, to electrum, to dionysium, to lithium, and then eventually all these metals basically grabbing these materials, adding a couple new ones, and then consolidating them all together and saying they're not just arbitrary metals that exist out there.
Hello?
And so Batman's biggest concern is that there is a 5th metal.
Hello?
He's exposed to it. He will become the means by which Barbados and all his forces will be teleported to the cosmos.
What's wrong?
But Batman doesn't know how to stop it. The problem is that in the middle of this whole thing, Superman punches a hole through Batman. It's crazy. He punches a hole right through him, and Wonder Woman shows up and says he's basically just...
Somebody, what?
This is not Batman. This is and that's what I say. This is so...
Alright, I'm on one.
And all these little curves that sort of come out of nowhere. Just like, oh my God, Superman killed Batman. Batman said something to piss him off, and Superman just punched a hole in his chest. I mean, that's the initial thought of it.
Hello?
You find out that it's just crazy. The reason why is because Superman, distracted in the moment, believing this is Batman, basically just kind of jumped onto it. But remember,
These be wanting to tell problems be their problems all the time. He said, we be wanting your problems be their problems all the time. And then they get mad at you when you don't even give a fuck about what they got going on. Like, shit, that shit don't concern me.
This version of Superman and this version of Batman
That's how you stay out of bullshit, nigga. Don't concern yourself with bullshit. That don't concern you. Oh, where you go? Oh, you on my team. What the fuck? This map ain't even that big for you motherfuckers be hiding out. Yeah. I don't know my motherfucker.
But the goal of Batman is to grab the base of Batman, grab the base of Carter Hall, owing to the idea that Barbados had, at some point along the line, passed into the dark multiverse. We don't know that. We just know that it happened. The rationale of Bruce Wayne here is that if Barbados was basically defeated by the mace of Carter Hall, which presumably forced to ride down to the final crisis by Barbados, use the mace and kill him before all of this can happen. It's the only thing Batman knows to do. This is irrational. It's unreasonable. It's not normally something Batman would do.
I ain't gonna have to come to your job beat that dude up. Shut him in. So, I ain't gonna have to come to your job and check that dude, huh? Oh shit. Dumbass, she took on that shooting. Oh shit.
So what this is designed to say is DC hasn't forgotten about this stuff. All that stuff and we'll probably see all that unfold somewhere along the line. The problem with this is that in the middle
Man, my
of
shit itching.
this revolution,
Oh, my foot. That's my toes.
this is all just one giant ruse, and the ruse has been set up by this clandestine organization in which dominating the is that somewhere along the line there was a plan and in an attempt to work off another aspect of the Golden Balls, ripped away and started worshipping Barbados. And so in response to this, because the fact that Barbados had set in motion the idea that Bruce Wayne would eventually be by which he could enter the main DC universe, the Court of Owls that worship Barbados began setting all these things in motion. They began carrying out the grand plans of Barbados himself. And so they're the ones who have been working behind the scenes. What this means is that everything that's happened in a story that's been written about Batman by Scott Snyder has all served the purpose of the Court of Owls working behind the scenes to make sure that Batman would become the gateway to allow Barbados to enter the top multiverse. It's a huge revelation. I mean,
I was cheating just now.
is this glass metal is called Batman. Now this is actually kind of cool.
I was laying there waiting on somebody to walk by. It's called camping. They do not like this shit.
There was a woman called Jerry Howard. She basically created this collider. The idea was that there was the periodic table and the metals were in it, but the role of the collider was to basically just like smashing elements together for the purpose of creating new elements. And where the Court of Owls wasn't aware of what it was that she was doing, they basically left it. And the reason why was because inevitably she would basically create Batman. She would create this glass metal that would be needed in order to basically bring Barbados into the positive.
Oh shit. I didn't mean to shoot you.
All five metals have been exposed directly to him. He is now the gateway. And as a result, he's basically teleported.
I did. I sure killed my teammate. Cause you know they have like they name being blue, the enemies being red, but sometimes or the enemies don't show up, and sometimes your teammates don't show up if they got this fucking what's it called? This perk that has a name. So shit, you run past me, and even if your name appear, if you run past me too fast, I'm gonna shoot you. Cause I'm scary.
What does that say about the Flash? What does it say about the Green Lantern? What does it say
For real, nigga, you can tell I'm a real nigga. I be shooting, the gun don't be going the right way, cause I don't be aiming at her correctly. I just be quickly pointing and shooting it.
Anybody else stand? Okay, so picking up with Dark Knight's
Like, it's a whole video game. The gun ain't got no kickback. Why I gotta kick back in real life?
And a lot of people were just like, hey, when are you going to do Merciless? Like, when are you going to get Merciless? And I was like, oh, snap. So the cool thing about
Look at just I can't see that window. Blow his ass. So I ain't got a rocket launcher. Boom, bitch. I did. I blew his ass up. I watched the grenade go right in the window. Oh, you want to go back up there?
No battle for second place. Crush those dirtbags.
And you might see like Abigail Brand and Silk come out all the time. The organization won't be as prominent. In DC, they're always there. Like you see them a lot. You see them pop up quite a bit. In this particular story, it's an all hands on deck kind of thing. Because remember, a lot of this is all happening at the same time. We talk about arrival of
That's another way I'll be getting shot too. It be two of them niggas, and I have to choose one to shoot. Look, he right there. As soon as you let him out. That's right.
Oh, just finished in the copper. Chop out. Oh no.
Superhuman advanced defense executive. These are basic